Okay, so this is some stretching for sciatica and lower back pain. This first one is just pulling your knee up and into your armpit, or as far up towards your armpit as you possibly can, while extending the other leg out long. If extending the other leg out long is uncomfortable for you, you can put a pillow underneath your knee or a block underneath your knee, or you can lay your opposite leg out flat on the mat, sole to the mat. Then I'm pulling my opposite knee up here, and you can see me really pulling it up towards my armpit. Keeping my shoulder blades flat on the mat, or it doesn't have to be a mat. If you don't have a mat, that's okay. And then in between, I'm extending out long, hands above head. Now I'm grabbing the strap because we're going to do some leg extensions with the strap. We'll start with both feet in the strap, extending them out long, stretching out those hamstrings, which really helps. Everything is connected in your body, so stretching these lower body parts out is important. Then taking one foot out and laying the sole of your foot against the mat and stretching that leg up. You can pull it back up further if you can here, or you can keep it at an angle, whatever's comfortable for you. We don't want pain. We just want to be at the edge of stretching. Then letting the leg fall open to the side. Holding each of these stretches for 3 to 5 full breaths, inhale and exhale. And then crossing that leg across for what we call a supine twist. Again, 3 to 5 breaths. I'm not holding the stretches as long for video purposes, but you should. 3 to 5 breaths as a starter, as a beginner, and then maybe moving into 5 to 10 breaths. Maybe using these stretches in the morning first thing, and then in the evening before bed every day, maybe a 5-day routine, opening that leg to the side here. And then you'll see I switch out my hands on the strap as I bring that leg over the middle of my body and over to the other side for a supine twist. And then here you'll see that my gaze is over that shoulder while my body twists the opposite way. This really gives a good stretch. Then taking the strap off. Also, if you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or a towel, giving a big good morning stretch here from fingertips to toes. All right, now we're gonna get out the block and we're gonna do a supported bridge. Hands are flat on the mat. Exhale as you lift to build your pelvic floor strength. Always wanna exhale on exertion, so to build your pelvic floor strength. We often think we need to inhale on exertion, but it's really the opposite if we're trying to build that pelvic floor strength. So you can use the block, or if you don't need to use the block, you can push that pelvis further up to the sky and bind your hands behind your glutes. Then bring the block back in for waterfall pose here, or legs up the wall. Or if you actually have a wall that you want to do this on, you can do that as well. Just laying your hands flat on the mat and just relaxing. But the block really helps stabilize you if you don't have a wall. Then untucking that, we're gonna come in to Sphinx pose here. So Sphinx pose, forearms are down on the mat, gaze is just at the front of your mat, big toes are together in the back, and there's just a little angle here from the crown of the head down to the lower back. Now I'm moving into Cobra, which is pushing my body up, keeping the elbows tucked into my sides, still toes, big toes together in the back, and then pushing back to Child's Pose. If Child's Pose is difficult for you, you can use a block under your forehead or underneath your glutes to cushion things, or you can use a blanket underneath your knees. You can also widen your knees for a wide leg Child's Pose and really melt down into the mat. With every exhale, pushing those hips down towards the heels. And here I'm just flowing between Cobra and Child's Pose, which is a really great way to wake up the body and wake up the joints. And again, we're working towards fluid movement if you're having problems with sciatica or lower back pain. Now we're coming into half pigeon. I'm on my left side here, so my left ankle, left heel is in towards my right hip, checking to make sure that that lengthened leg is straight behind me, tucking a block up underneath my glute here, just for some stability. but it's not necessary. You can also take that out, especially if your hip comes all the way down to the mat. And then I've melted my pigeon down to the floor and have my forehead on the mat, but you also can tuck a block underneath your head if you want to, or you can stay pushed up. Also, if being on your knees is difficult, you can do flying pigeon, which I'm showing you here, which is a figure 4, and then raising, locking the hands behind the knee, and then pulling that other leg up either to the sky or into your chest. Finally, here we have some cat and cow for sciatica, piriformis pain. Really, really getting into that deep, letting the neck and shoulders go on your cat, maybe moving around a little bit. And then on your cow, maybe getting into the hips by doing some hip circles. Beautiful stretches for sciatica pain here. Have a great day.